Welcome to the daily walk, where it's one lens and one camera. This little batch of nice tender sword fern kind of caught my attention. I wasn't actually going to make a video because up the trail there's a lot of commotion going on, some chainsaws, some work, and I thought we'd just bag the video today. But if this photo turns out, I might have something. I like how it kind of hangs into the frame. And then of course the background's going to be darker. It's not an obvious composition. I almost didn't even take the photograph because I thought, well, is it really something worth spending the time on? But I don't know. This might be something. I've tried different apertures, and then I've shot some further away and some closer. I've been kind of trying to isolate this top fern and having everything else kind of be at a softer focus to kind of have some separation. It's all just kind of experimental, but I guess I'm going to have a video today. Sorry for the shiner. My eyes are a little on the dark side. It's not uncommon for me to have dark circles under my eyes, but this is a little extreme. So hopefully it's not too disturbing. If you're new to this channel or this series, it's a pretty new series. It's just an informal vlog on photos I might find on my daily walk with my companion Nori. She likes it when I do these because she gets to stop more. Normally we're walking for exercise. This is a more casual time. If you're interested in more photography content, there's not a whole lot on this channel right now. I do have another channel called Riding the Edge Photography. There I'm working on a new series. I just launched it this last week on making a zine, where you can follow me from the shoot clear to the printed process. So it's a summer project. We'll be working on this on the photography part of it through the summer. And by the end of the year, sometime we'll have a zine that I can show for my work this summer, which usually isn't a very productive time of year for me. So if that sounds interesting, head over there and subscribe and see the first episode. Today we're walking on our usual trail. This is just an informal, as I said before, this is just an informal vlog, and if I happen to come across something, what's cool about this kind of photography is it's taking stuff you see every day and trying to make art with it. Daily walk, where we make art out of the ordinary. Well, it rained last night. There's still a little moisture on some of the foliage. It's made things quite humid. It's not all that comfortable walking, but it is adding some another dimension to the photographs. I just came across these little berries here that noticed a little water drop hanging on one of them. Of course, the challenge is I'm not using a tripod, so I can only hand hold an image at so slow without having it get blurry, and the depth of field is going to be quite shallow, so it's one of those Hail Mary passes. You know, you take the shot and you hope that it's going to have enough depth of field. On the back of the camera it looks okay. I'll probably have to crop this one just a little bit because there's a kind of a hot spot behind what I'm what I'm trying to make a photograph of. Actually, I would rather shoot at a little bit lower angle, but because of the shine on the leaf, it's pretty distracting. So we'll see. Today's lens camera combo is my 55mm macro lens. It's a very compact manual focus old lens. I think the aperture of 3.5 makes it even more compact, I think. It doesn't focus 1:1, it's 1:2, but for hand holding, that's plenty close. I'm not going to be shooting that kind of magnification. It's kind of a favorite for this kind of photography. I do tend to get a lot of close-ups when I do this kind of stuff. It's not a real scenic location, but it is full of nature. And I find that the more I look, the closer I look, the more I appreciate what I've got around me. I like how these leaves stand out against a totally different kind of foliage in the background. It's a nice contrast in shape. Kind of sets this off by itself. I know the odds of finding portfolio quality images on this kind of stuff is pretty slim, but it's really still a good exercise in honing your skills. Now, something like this, is it ever going to be anything I ever use? The odds are probably not. It's just when something catches your attention, you just take a picture. Once again, this is a very obvious shot. I could probably do this a shot 100 times a day. I just like the way the center line of this fern kind of arcs through the frame with these other lines kind of jutting off, starting in one corner and coming out to the other corner. It's hard to walk by and not make at least a photograph. It's just too beautiful. I just love them. I didn't place this leaf here. Oh, and there's another one over there. It just caught my attention. It looks pretty dried out. Yeah. In black and white, that might be something. It's a little bit on the shiny side. Once again, I'm not shooting it straight on, so the lines are a little bit of an angle. I find that having the line straight up or straight across doesn't seem to work well with this image. These white tops on these plants, these white blooms, I guess, white flowers, have caught my attention. I'm using them more as a way to put little highlights across the frame. I'm shooting kind of like a 3-foot section with all the white dotting the darker foliage. Trying to make it a little more abstract. I'm not really that interested in doing flower portraits. It's more a repeating shape or line or color. It's that repeating part of it that I'm drawn to. If I can find just the right balance that are close enough on the same focal plane to have enough of them in focus to make it work, this could be an interesting photograph. It's very cluttered. And it's that chaos that I think the little dots actually bring some order to. Or I could just be full of hot air. Sometimes I'm attracted to the weird stuff. And especially in black and white, anything, any plant or foliage or anything that you can cross as white always seems to be a really good starting point for a black and white image, especially when you've got a good contrast between tones. Well, it's about lunchtime, so Nori and I are gonna call it a day. We're gonna walk home. This is gonna be here tomorrow or whenever. It's kind of fun to watch the seasons change. Well, if you've made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you coming along. If you like photography content, you will see more of it like this, maybe a little more formal. You can visit my Riding the Edge Photography YouTube channel, where I've got lots of videos on film photography, that kind of thing, the art of photography. You might consider subscribing to that channel. So we're just about off the trail, so I think we're going to end it right here. Thanks for coming along on the daily walk.